Hello. So it's weird times, stressful times. If you're watching this in the future, I'm recording this during lockdown when all of us are basically locked down because of the coronavirus. So today I'm here with a weird video. I wouldn't necessarily call it weird, but different to what I usually do. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my true vintage makeup collection, but I wanted to do it in a way that was a little bit different, more chill. In the beginning of the year I had jokingly said that I wanted to try an ASMR video this year. Don't worry, if you're not into that stuff, this is not turning into an ASMR channel. I just personally love ASMR to de-stress, tuning into calm, relaxing sounds. And so with the state of things and the way things are in the world, I thought if there ever was a time to try this, it would be today. I'm sure a lot of you guys, just like me right now, are living under high levels of stress. So it's not my usual thing. As you guys know, I'm usually loud and obnoxious. As you can tell, I'm trying to use my calmer, softer voice because I'm usually more like, sometimes I feel like the nanny. I have a big, I would consider it kind of big-ish vintage makeup, true vintage makeup collection. So we're gonna be looking at stuff from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and a little 70s. Maybe I'll try to do some softer background music, or instead of music, just like some nice ambient sounds. So without a further ado, let's go. So I thought that we could start with blushes, or as they used to call them, rouge. By the way, I'm in my comfy clothes. I have this like little knit sweater on, but everything else, PJ pants, cozy socks. I only did my makeup just so that you wouldn't have to see my bare face. So I'm actually going to be showing you guys the oldest item that I have, which is this 1930s Dewberry Rouge. For those not familiar, Dewberry is one of the oldest makeup companies out there, or was. I don't think they're around anymore. They're not the same. They used to be huge, but they claim to be the first, if not one of the first, makeup companies in the United States. And so this is a little blush that or rouge that I got my hands on. It's from the 1930s. It is used. It's 90 years old. So as you can see, focus on me. But it is in great condition. Like, it still has a ton of product. You can see that the little sponge there, hopefully you can see it, says Dewberry. It's kind of gross, really. But sometimes with old vintage makeup, that is what you get. You can still make out some letters, like I can see made in the USA. I can see Dewberry on there, but I don't know what the name of this is, but it's a very bright peachy pink blush or rouge. I think it'd be really cool to do some swatches. I'm not gonna do it on myself because it's not safe. I have my little Q-tip and I'm gonna rub it on some paper so that you guys can see what that color would look like. The next rouge that I have for you guys is this Heather Rouge in the color Peach Rose. It's made by a company that was called Whitehall Laboratories. So they used to actually be a pharmacy, and then I guess for a while there they got into cosmetics. This one is from the 1940s, 50s, according to my internet research. It's in almost perfect condition, and I mean, it was barely used. It is just missing the little sponge that it came with originally, but I got it for really, really cheap. In case you're wondering, I buy all of my vintage makeup on eBay, and if I can find stuff, I'll get it at the thrift store, but it's a little more rare there. I'd say that in terms of packaging, this is probably my favorite one. Very ASMR-y. And for the last of the rouges or blushes, I have these two Pond's Cheeks rouges, which are from the 40s, 50s, like late 40s, early 50s, I believe. They're in these little robin egg blue canisters, so you can hear like the tappy sounds that they make. That's the one thing I like about vintage makeup, is that the packaging always really feels really high quality. They're like in these metal cases. So these are by the brand Pond's, which we know today specializes in like face creams and body washes and whatnot, not so much makeup anymore. But they used to be big into makeup. They're the same line, just different colors. One is in the color Honey and one is in the color Natural. They kind of look the same. And these are new old stocks. That means that versus the other ones that I just showed you that are used, still in good condition but used, these have never been used. They were just never sold, and somebody got their hands on them and resold them today. It used to be sold in little card holders. These didn't come in that. I'll insert a picture so that you can see what those look like, but they were sold for 10 cents. So I'll open them for you. It even still has like the plastic film over it. It has a little sponge inside. And so yeah, this one is the color Honey. And then this one is the color Natural, which it's kind of hard for me to tell the difference between them two. I guess Honey has a more of an orange base to it, and this one is just like a hot pink, maybe a little bit more blue tone to it. I'm not the makeup expert here, so bear with me. I'm just an enthusiast. So that does it for the blushes. Moving on to my favorite thing, lipsticks. So starting with the oldest of the lipsticks, I have this super cool, it looks very like Art Deco-y, but it's 1940s, a 1940s coty lipsticks, a very bright red. It's in the color Vibrant. A little hard to read now. The words are kind of faded. I got it for really cheap, and when I was buying it, they didn't show the inside. I should have known now why, because it has barely any product. I don't know if you can see that. It does have product. It's all the way at the bottom. It's a very vibrant red, per what the name suggests, but I bought it for just like a couple of dollars, and just the fact, like the tube itself, some people just buy the tubes for collecting purposes. So the fact that I got product in there is like a bonus. Coty was a very popular brand back in the 1940s, 30s, 50s, and even through like the 70s. And this specific tube, after I bought it and I was doing research, I saw that on an online auction, it sold for like around 3,000. Don't quote me, I might be wrong, but for quite a lot of money, because apparently Marilyn Monroe apparently used to belong to Marilyn Monroe. So just the fact that she probably owned one of these, I mean, for it to have sold for that much, I'm pretty sure that they probably had to have some proof about it. But I mean, I don't know, sometimes people just buy things without proof and they believe whatever they read on the internet. Apparently, according to the internet, Marilyn used to have one of these, and I was able to find a few ads for this one too, which I'll insert here so that you guys can take a look. I was actually able to find the one specifically for the color Vibrant as well, which I thought was pretty cool. Moving on to the next lipstick. Oh, it doesn't make as much of a satisfying noise. So this is another Pond's product. This is their Pond's Lips lipstick. Oh, try to say that 3 times really fast. Pond's Lips lipstick. This one is in the color Honey. This is also new old stock. However, it looks used, and that is because I messed with it a little. I cleaned it because it was full at the top of like old green fuzzy like moss, so it did like fuzz up a bit over time. It was probably not properly stored, so I cleaned it up because it was no fun for me. Some people don't like to mess with vintage items, but I wanted to clean it. It's no fun for me if I can't actually see like the product. But it was in perfect condition. Other than that, like the packaging was great. I can tell that it was never used. Now it does look a little bit used, but that's just because I cleaned the nasty gunk off of it. These also, like the Pond's Cheeks Rouge canisters, came in little cards, and they were also sold for 10 cents. I'll insert an image here so you guys can see what that looks like. And I was able to find an ad for this one as well. So I think this ad's from the 1940s, and the ad says, "These'll hook him every time, because if you want to get a man, you need Pond's Cheeks," apparently. Okay. Up next, we have a 1950s lipstick. This one is by the brand Francis Denny, which was around in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, but it was pretty big around the 1950s. So this is a Francis Denny lipstick. Let's see what sound this makes. Ooh, that's pretty nice. I really hope you guys are enjoying this, because if not, I'm just making a fool of myself. But then again, I always make a fool of myself. And this one is used, so not new old stock. This one, I'm not sure what color this is. The bottom says made for Francis Denny of Philadelphia, so made in Philadelphia, made in the USA. I don't know what the color is, but it does have some product left in it. And there you go. This one was super cool because it's not just like your typical red, bright reds, very popular during the 40s, 50s. It's a really dark, deep, rich burgundy, which I thought was super cool. I love wearing colors like this in the autumn. I was able to find an ad, and as you can see in the ad, it looks very, very similar in terms of the packaging, like with the little stars, you can make that out. And the whole thing itself was sold for $2, and the ad says, "Lipstick trouble, the stay-on formula contains lipoids to bring beauty to the lips and helps the lips to smoother, line-free, softer beauty, blah, 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 blah." So it's supposed to be like a stay-on, long-lasting formula, which apparently has been valued for ages. It has a really nice weight to it too. It feels like super high quality. Last for the lipsticks, I have a mystery lipstick, which is this lipstick. I don't know when it's from, but judging by the size, like just it's a little bit bigger, the way it's designed, and I was comparing it to other lipsticks of different eras online, and I think this is from the 1970s. I'm really frustrated because I have so much yet so little information. So I do have a sticker at the back that says made in the USA, distributed New York, London, and it says that it's the color Scarlet, but with that information, I was still not able to find anything online. So if anybody happens to know, let me know. I found some ads like Max Factor. I know this isn't Max Factor, but Max Factor has like something from the 70s in similar packaging. I also know that it's vintage because I bought it in a bulk of vintage makeup, but I think it's from the 70s, like I said, because of that. The packaging, there's some like plastic inside, and 70s they started using plastic for containers. And also like the way it's shaped. Maybe the person shaped it like this from using it. I don't know why they wouldn't put the name on it. It could be Avon, but who knows? Mystery lipstick. If you know anything, let me know. Okay, how are we doing? We good? You guys bearing with me? Okay, let's move on to the next set of things, which would be face powders. And I only have a couple of things to share here in terms of face powders. This first one, there's no makeup in it, but I wanted to show you guys anyways because it is the container for something. And this is the baby that actually got me interested in vintage makeup and just overall vintage from a very young age. There's many factors. This little baby I've had in my possession for many, many years now. I got it in the early 2000s from my grandma. She gifted it to me and she had thrifted it in the 90s. It's empty, as you can see. It's like a compact holder. So I just always used to use this as a mirror. I think sometimes I would put like bobby pins or stuff in there, and it has an M on it, but I didn't know what it was. I knew it was for makeup. Now, thanks to the beauty of the internet, I was able to find exactly what this is. And this was a compact container that at one point contained, wow, that's a lot of contains. It contained compact in it. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I've been inside the house for too long and haven't seen sunlight in like over a week. It's from the 1960s. It was made by a brand called Monteil. So I'll insert pictures so that you guys can see what this actually used to look like. I was even able to find an ad as well. But yeah, it was a little compact and it's really cool. Like, this is what started it. One of my oldest vintage possessions. The very next item that I have is a 1950s Revlon Compact. This one is used, but it does have the sponge in there that says Revlon. This was called Petite. It was branded as Petite, like that was the name of, I guess, this product specifically. And what it's filled with is their face powder that they call Love Pat. But yeah, the whole thing is Petite, and then the inside, the actual product, is their like special Love Pat, which is just powdered foundation. They called it the most elegant idea in makeup since makeup was invented. And then for the last of the face powders, this one is new old stock, so never been used before. This is a face powder. I'll open it. It's by the brand Woodbury, and the color is Coquette, which I think means flirty. I know coqueta means flirty in Spanish. The packaging says its harmonizing lipstick shade is Coquette. And I know that this one's like from the late 40s, early 50s. This one is not metal, obviously, so it's like a cardboard box, but it has a really pretty design in the front. Reinterpretation of that painting with the woman in the shell. What is it called? The Birth of Venus? The Birth of Venus. It kind of looks like the Birth of Venus. For those not familiar, Woodbury is a makeup brand that was around for a really long time, but it was very popular in the 1940s and 50s, especially amongst like movie stars. It was used in addition to Max Factor. It was used a lot in movie studios as well, like for artists, for their makeup. So like products all hanging out in there, but I'm not gonna try to open it. I was able to find a few ads with movie stars, including this one with Elizabeth Taylor, and she's posing like with a similar box like this one. And the ad markets it as a face powder that leaves your skin feeling like soft satin. Moving on, I have a Cuticle Remover. It's this little kit from Cutex. It's from the early 60s, maybe like late 50s. So you would treat your nails with this before you were to do your actual nails, just like we still do today. As you can see here, it used to retail for 43 freaking cents. How crazy is that? The box is really neat. It has a description of what it is, what it does. It was made in New York, wrap manicure stick in cotton. So it gives you like the instructions on how to use this. Yada, yada, yada. And it's never before been used. So here is the Cuticle Remover. I guess this is what you would put on your nails. It's empty. It has like, it's dried out over time and maybe even spilled a little, although I know it was never used, because it also comes with the little cotton kit. Really cool. There's like little cotton balls in there. You can see that. And then it has the wooden orange sticks as well. And for the last of the face and skin products, I have these Magenta Balm hand lotion pillows. This is like the entire package, and then it comes with 3 different individual things in here that have the actual little packets on the inside. This entire thing was probably like on the counter at a pharmacy, and then you would buy like this. And the year on this one says 1959. And essentially they're little hand pillows, simply squeeze and throw away. I think it's really funny though, because it actually gives you instructions on how to use these, telling you how to rip them open and use them. I find it interesting because apparently it was a new concept, and like we see stuff like this today and we know automatically, like when you see something like this, it's to open. No, I just find it funny and interesting that they needed instructions for that, but that's probably because it wasn't something that was really around. So the packaging basically says that these little bomb Magenta packets are loaded with lanolin. What's lanolin? Wool yolk, wool wax, or wool grease, and it's secreted by the glands of wool-bearing animals. Oh no, oh no. So I'm going to sacrifice one of these so we can see what's on the inside. Oh, ooh, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I regret having done this. No, this is really nasty. I mean, this has been sitting around for like 50 plus years, almost 60 now. We'll show you guys what's in there. Ugh, it's turned green. Ugh, I mean, it's animal product. It's not like more synthetic or anything. Oh, I was not expecting that. I don't know why I would think it would be like white powder for some reason, because lotion's usually white. So I would think that it would just be like dried milk or something. This is really gross. Okay, moving on to the last thing, more pleasant things. I have a batch of perfumes. I'm just gonna really show you these because I've probably already had you here forever. Really show you these like at quick glance and just focus on one. So I found this batch of perfumes. These batch of perfumes at the thrift store, and they're all from Avon. I think these two right here at the front are from the 60s, and these two are from the 70s. And they basically all smell like an old lady. I mean, like very musky, very just old. And it could just be because they've been sitting in storage for a really long time. They were all brand new, never before used. This one's a little empty because it's spilled out. It was like hanging out sideways. But my favorite one specifically that I want to show you guys is this one. It's their 1978 anniversary keepsake in the scent Trailing Arbutus. Trailing Arbutus? Arbutus. Arbutus. Trailing Arbutus is apparently a type of flower found in North America. This one actually smells really, really nice. It smells like baby powder or like baby soap, like very soft and florally, not like super musky like the other ones. The other reason that it's my favorite too is just the packaging itself. It's so pretty. Like a lot of things in the 1970s, very Edwardian, Victorian inspired, with the pink flowers all over it and the font and just the writing. It's great to have like on my vanity, which I'll get hopefully one of these days soon. And that is all that I have for today, my friends. I really hope that you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. Change of tone in my voice and pace. Like I said, I know that sometimes I know that I can be a little bit more elevated, but with the state of things, like even my energy is like a little different right now. And so yeah, I thought now more than ever it'd be good to just do a more relaxed, quiet show and tell of my vintage makeup and trinkets collection. I hope you enjoyed this. If you like this video, like this video. If you haven't and you're new here, feel free to subscribe for lots of silly content and vintage stuff. I really hope that everyone's doing and feeling okay. I know it's not an easy time and we're not always feeling okay. But know that I'm here for you. Love you guys so, so much. Hang in there, stay safe. And as always, sending you a super duper big virtual hug wherever it is that you are in the world. And I will see you next time. Bye.